I thought we only had one ghost. Halloween is coming up, and it had me thinking about a story from when I was younger that I had sort of forgot about until recently. For some context, I grew up in a rented house that had farmland. The owner of the land was around a lot, as he also had a home on the property that he considered a sort of vacation home. He liked me and my sister and let us run around the property without issues. Even let us into the barn as long as we didn't mess with anything. We went in and out of the barn from time to time, playing hide and seek and such, until we started hearing weird noises. My sister was fairly young, and I was a jerk older sister that liked to scare her, so I told her there was a ghost. She pretty much refused to go in the barn after that, at least for a few years. To be fair, I did think there was a ghost on the property. Sometimes weird things happened without any explanation, like our dog would bark at nothing. The chickens would get spooked randomly. Doors opening and shutting on their own. Especially this one gate with a specific type of latch that most of my friends had a hard time figuring out how to open when they came over. To say the least, it didn't just push open. My mum always called it the angels and demons. She's religious, so she refused to call it a ghost. I just called it our ghost. It was harmless, honestly didn't really mess with us in ways that seemed harmful at all. Sometimes I even thought it was looking out for us. We had cats that ran off from time to time, but somehow always made their way back home. Or when my dad's truck door slammed, making him jump when there was a rattlesnake under his car. Basically, saving him from getting bitten. Even this one time, the fridge door opened when I was home alone, making me look out the window next to me to witness an accident on the road near our house. This story isn't about that ghost though. This is about one I didn't know about until we did something dumb. One week my cousins were visiting, they liked our property and I was really into the whole ghost hunting thing, so I told them our barn was haunted. Being the kids, we were my sister, my cousins and me all decided to take a ghost hunting trip to the barn at night. We snuck out of the house with some flashlights, my Polaroid, and with my crappy old phone and headed to the barn. My cousins were rambunctious to say the least, both grew up in a household with few rules and kind of got away with a lot. So when I told them not to touch anything in the barn, they didn't listen. As soon as we got inside, they were jumping on the hay and messing around on the old tractor. I tried my best to get them to stop, but they didn't listen, so I gave up fairly quickly. This is an older barn, but it had a second level to it where hay used to be stored. Now it's basically just a big empty space. So we headed up there and sat everyone down. I decided to attempt to talk to the ghost. I figured it would be our harmless ghost that might shut a door or something, but that just didn't happen. Nothing happened. I tried to do the whole, if there is anyone here besides us, let yourself be known. And there was nothing. The thing I didn't realize until later is there was actually nothing. No noise from the road nearby, or the normal animal chatter, it was dead silent. I decided it was a bust, and we would go back to the house and go to sleep. My sister was still in grade school and was looking pretty tired, so I started pushing everyone out down the stairs, being the last one to leave the upper floor. That's when I felt a chill go up my spine. I had a really uneasy feeling of being watched, so I turned around, flashing my light into the darkness, not seeing anything. I decided to snap a photo with my Polaroid, as I thought the dark room being illuminated by my flashlight looked kind of creepy and cool. I was in middle school and wanted to show off that I went into a scary place at night. Silly, I know. I walked down the stairs behind everyone, shaking the photo for it to develop. One of my cousins was at the bottom of the stairs with everyone talking about a bug she spotted on the wall or something. I looked at the photo and stopped in my tracks. I honestly wasn't sure it would develop at all, but it did. And I saw a shadow in the corner that I hadn't seen at the time. It looked like 2 feet poking out in the darkness. I snapped out of it and told everyone to be quiet and started pushing them out of the barn. They were asking me what was wrong when I told them to shut up. We all heard it, the sounds of footsteps above us. It sounded like boots hitting the wooden floors. Honestly, I think we were all too scared to move for a moment. That was until they got faster and closer to the stairs. I shoved my cousins and picked my sister up, bolting out of the barn and slamming the door, locking it. I heard a loud thud, and the door shook hard like someone was trying to push against it to shove it open. We all ran like hell. My sister went bawling her eyes out to my dad, waking both my parents. My mum was upset, but my dad saw how shaken up we all were, so he shut my mum down and sent us off to bed. We were banned from going in the barn anymore because my mum thought we played a trick to scare my little sister. Even she tried to tell them it wasn't a trick, but my mum wasn't having it. In all honesty, I never wanted to back in that barn, whatever was in there. Didn't like guests touching its stuff. And it was clear now we were no longer welcome. Honestly, have no idea what I encountered, but I know now that there is something else on that farm, and it is evil. I don't know why, but I just had this feeling if I ever stepped foot in there again, I would end up hurt or worse.